Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, the voice of MMA in Utah, who is now in California right now, Zack Partridge. What up, dog?
What up, dog?
The whole enchilada. I like that shirt.
The whole enchilada podcast. Our friend Marcus Green.
Yeah,
he has a great podcast. Like it's a business podcast. Anybody likes good business podcasts, go subscribe to the whole enchilada podcast.
Heck yeah. Well, Fighter Spotlight podcast today, bringing back our boy, the judge, Johann Rubio. What's up, Johann?
How's it going, guys?
Dude, I love that. I love that fight name. The judge, because he's got the judge freaking thing on his shirts that we're getting mocked up.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah, Judge Dredd. Remember they said that somebody said it was a Nazi sign because he has like the little.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, I don't think he should do that. That's not. I'm like, dude, come on. It's the freaking logo, man. So, Johann, January 29th, you're stepping back in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage.
Oh, yeah, that's super soon. Less than 3 weeks out. I can taste it. It's so close.
How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel good. Weight's on point, I feel strong. Cardio's good. I'm just ready to get back in there. I feel like it's been forever.
It's been, with how active you when you came back from your break, you started getting really active, but had a little injury, right? Time to get active.
A little setback, but everything happens for a reason. So I learned some good things, during my time off, and so I think all it was time for me to grow more.
Where do you feel like you've grown from your last fight to this one? Your pro debut to now your second fight as a pro.
Yeah, I definitely think my stand-up has improved a lot. I've been doing a lot of technical boxing, and so it's been good for me. Just kind of like sit back and hold back on the kick so hard, and so really work on my boxing and my head movement. So I'm excited.
I thought you actually grew a lot there from your Radin fight to your pro debut. I thought your striking, especially with your hands, actually in the Radin fight, it seemed like you were brawling more, where in your pro debut, it seemed like you were setting up big shots and then specifically sitting down on punches, but not throwing everything 100%.
Yeah. So Jeremy had actually worked on that a lot with me on kind of not really trying to do the whole brawl thing anymore. and kind of like really be confident in the stand-up, right? Like really sit down on the punches and make sure that I'm really committed.
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Lost the volume there.
We lost your volume, Johann. Can you hear us? Can you hear me now? He's got a dope little setup there.
Yeah.
Rockwell Times watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's.
I just heard something.
Oh, we disconnected. He'll be back. We'll get him back on here.
And for people like tuning in, well, he'll be right back. People that are tuning in, Johann, one thing that he
a bit there.
Oh,
there we go.
Can you hear me?
There we go. We're back. Yep.
Here, give me 1 second.
All
you guys' voices are kind of weird too. I can't really hear you.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah. So what I was just saying was your pro debut, all the Syndicate guys were all ranting and raving about your opponent and how good he was. And I'm like, Johann's pretty good. And they were all talking about, basically saying the guy's not going to lose.
No, they were all, you remember, they all went right up to the cage and were watching that fight and helping coach the kid. And
Johann pieced him up, choked him out.
Yeah. That was a good fight.
There he is.
Okay.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Nope. And we just lost him again.
Yeah, we just lost him again. What is going on here?
The judge and the cop, not
the judge
savvy.
The judge didn't pay his cable bill. His internet bill. Oh.
When you watch if like fighters evolve, like on too, he has the heart and he has a lot of those intangibles.
Third time's the charm.
Can you hear us now? Are we okay? Do we sound good?
Yeah, I can hear you and I can see you. Oh my god!
Hear me now.
Where were we?
No, well, we were just talking about like you watch fighters evolve and stuff too. you showed that you have the things that you can't teach, right? The heart, the no quit, and things like that. That's great, and that will take you a ways in this sport. But watching fighters evolve in their skills from fight to fight, that's a big thing too. Like, I mean, you get to the highest levels. Everybody even talks about like Justin Gaethje, right? Like we've seen Justin evolve his last few fights as well. And it's like he got to the highest of highs and is still evolving. We look at Kamaru, listen what he's doing.
Yeah,
how he's evolving even as a champion, becoming better.
That definitely.
And not getting complacent in a set style.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that's one thing that if you're definitely going to take this far and definitely going to go all the way with it, as someone would say, you definitely have to be able to evolve and, really sharpen the tools, not just like focus on the one thing. Like there are guys that are just good wrestlers that can brawl a bit. That'll take them a good long way, but if they don't have the jiu-jitsu, if they don't have the like technical stand-up, when they go against guys that can stand with them and then defend their wrestling, then they're kind of stuck, right?
Yep.
So it's definitely one of those
things on their face in the fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
When a fighter doesn't have an answer, you can see their whole everything change in the fight.
Yeah.
There was a fight on your pro debut that we saw that with that Ahmad Sanchez guy. Remember his opponent? Same thing. The guy came in there.
Card as well. His opponent, Caden Bentley, is on this card as well.
Yeah. You could kind of see he didn't have the answer for.
Once he realized he didn't have an answer for something.
Yeah.
The look on your whole face changes.
That's how I feel every day when I go to jiu-jitsu. That's exactly how I feel. I don't have an answer other than just tap.
It's the ultimate defense.
Yeah. So Johann, what do you know about your opponent, Domenico Salas?
Dude, Domenico. So I've kind of studied him a little bit, not too in depth, but I mean I've heard it time and time again from people is, dude, this dude's a dude that has heavy hands and an iron chin and no quitting him. He'll just keep moving forward, and that's what I'm expecting from him is just like a hard, gritty fight where he's just going to keep moving forward, trying to lay down the leather real hard, trying to put me out, and so that's what I'm expecting from him.
I think you just nailed it. That's pretty much him to a T. Man, that fight he had against was it Trevor Bradshaw was just a all out war, man. I love Dom. I'm super excited about your guys' fight. I respect both you guys, consider both you guys friends. So this will be a good scrap.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a good one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this fight, and when the fight like this one's matched up, I don't know. See, because there's two ways to view it. People saw your Radin fight and they look at the way Dom fights and they're like, oh yeah, they're just gonna stand and bang.
Yeah.
And could you? Sure, you could. You could choose to engage in that. But I also see something too. It's like we can really see an evolution in, almost like a Rubio 2.0 style in this fight if you choose to do so. Up to you.
Sure. Yeah. I've definitely talked about it with Jeremy a ton, kind of going into this fight and what his expectations are and what mine are. Everyone has a game plan until you get punched in the face, right? So we'll kind of see how it goes, play it by ear, but I'm definitely planning on being more technical, especially in the stand-up aspect of things, not just getting in a phone booth war with him. Because I definitely think he's a dangerous dude not to look over, I don't think I definitely think that he'd have some hands that I should be concerned about. So I don't know if that's the smart way to do it, but everything happens for a reason. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
Well, so where do you find the balance? Because there is a balance. I hear some people talk about, well, I just do what the fans want to see. I stand and bang. You hear wrestlers. I'll circle back Justin Gaethje again. He's like, yeah, I could wrestle, but fans want to see striking. So he gives the fans what they want. And it's like, but is at some point the point to win?
Yeah. I think it's hard to find that middle ground of like, I want to be exciting. I want to be, someone that the crowd looks forward to watching every single time. But at the same time, kind of like you said, like, but we want to win here. Like that's the goal, is to win. So I think kind of like circling back to what you were saying about like the Johann 2.0, right? Being more technical with the stand up, not being so wild with it. I think that'll be a good middle ground for me, is being technical, being confident in my stand up, and then kind of like see what happens. If he wants to brawl,
He
just
does, by the way.
play the technical aspect of it and see how that goes. Maybe I'll have to take him down. Maybe he'll be too much on the stand up aspect of things. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. I hope I don't get into that like ego mindset again with Casey, where I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna hang with him, bro. So like, we'll see what happens. I think the best thing is to just like wait till fight day and we'll see what happens.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's that balance of finding the confidence of, because there's some guys, I've been in a fight. I'll never forget. I was like, I could stand in front of this guy all day, and I know for a fact my chin's going to hold up longer than him. Right? It's like I'm not even worried about that. But then there's other guys where you're just like, it's probably going to be wise here to, let's set up a takedown at some point, or use angles so we're never standing in front of him.
Yeah,
it's that balance game. I'm super excited for that fight. I'm super excited for the whole card. Are there any other fights on that card that you're looking forward to watching as a fan?
I actually just saw that Casey's fighting on again, so I'm excited to watch that.
Unfortunately, we just had to get a replacement for him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He tested positive to the vid.
Oh, that sucks. I was looking forward to watching him fight.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
But he'll be back soon.
So Johann, not looking past January 29th and Dominico, but what's on the agenda for the rest of the year? Do you plan on getting a couple more fights in? What are you looking for after this fight?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, hopefully everything goes according to plan. Hopefully there's no injuries after this fight. Obviously a win is, what I want. But I think regardless of the outcome, I'll want to fight sooner rather than later. Hopefully, if we're talking January, maybe March, April time, have another fight lined up if there's no injuries or anything, and then hopefully fight again during the summer. I want to stay pretty active this year. I really want to kind of test my skill set and go against dudes that, people would be impressed that I won, just kind of like Dominico, one of those dudes that like, okay, like he's going to be tough. So it would be a good win for me. It's not just a dude that it's like, oh, he's just going to walk through him.
Is there anybody you have in mind? Is there anybody you want to say?
I actually don't. I don't keep up with the rankings as much as I should.
Okay, cool.
But I'm pretty,
people.
Yeah, I'm pretty open to fighting anybody. I mean, obviously I trust Jeremy's judgment more than anybody's. So he's the one that ultimately helps decide on who I'm fighting. He's like my manager. So that's just kind of is what it is.
Cool.
What's it like having Jeremy Horn in your corner?
Oh, it's insane. That dude's wealth of knowledge is just like endless. No matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, that dude's not just like intelligent, like fighting wise, but life wise, business wise. Obviously our gym's pretty popular and, we have a lot more people going there. And so he's a wealth of knowledge all over.
I've noticed, just to touch on what you just said about a lot of people there, I've noticed your guys' gym is getting pretty packed and you guys got a damn good stable of fighters coming out of there now. And it's kind of quietly, a lot of people, you don't really hear it pop up too much, but I mean, you're over there. Malachi's over there. Dave Maggio, who's coming on the podcast Fridays, over there. Who am I missing, Zach? Who else is over there?
Don't ask me.
Spencer.
Yeah.
You got the other Spencer that just fought on a Muay Thai card.
Yeah.
He's a stud. You got Oliver, the big heavyweight. You got Andy Bouquet. That dude is probably going to walk through every heavyweight in Utah. I'm calling it right now.
Ooh.
That
What's
dude
his name?
is a monster.
What's his name?
Andrew Bouquet.
When's he fighting?
Yeah.
So he was actually supposed to fight, I think, in February, but his opponent had backed out, which I don't blame him. Like, Andy's a scary dude.
Is he?
That's a scary dude. That's one of those dudes that you spar with and you're like, this is going to suck. This isn't.
I got a couple of those.
All right. All right.
Yes.
We're gonna have to keep
So
his name on our radar then.
and his jiu-jitsu too, for like his size, like you would expect him to be slower and not as methodical or technical, but he's good. So I'm excited to watch him kind of progress and
Awesome.
walk through Utah's heavyweight division.
Nice.
All right.
What all right, one last question from me, and then we can wrap this up for you. Who UFC fighter, favorite UFC fighter?
See, that's a hard question. See, I've always been a fan of like Dustin Poirier,
Okay.
just because of like his grind mindset of like, I just work hard and I don't care what's going to happen. I'm just going to like grind my way to the top. Right. One of those types of dudes that you can't question his work ethic.
Nope.
But I was very disappointed in his last fight
Why?
with Oliveira. I didn't like how he laid on the ground with Oliveira just for a round. I understand why, because Oliveira's super dangerous on the ground, right? I just wish he would have kind of like put a little bit more effort in maybe trying to stand up or scramble. But I also understand that
if you create a scramble with Oliveira, he's going to snatch your neck or a limb,
an arm or something.
That's a dangerous game to play for sure. But I mean, how did it end up anyways?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Right.
Very true.
So MMA is one of these things too, where unless your name's Khabib or Johann, eventually everybody has a bad day at the office too. I don't think that was the best Dustin Poirier we've ever seen.
No, I don't think so either.
That was not the sharpest Dustin we've seen.
Yeah.
And I just chalk it up to, listen, he was great both times against Conor. His Dan Hooker performance was incredible. Like, he's been stacking up so many incredible performances. He actually did really well against Khabib compared to a lot of people.
He's got a lot of money.
He had a bad fight.
I mean, you got to figure though that was his third big fight of the year. He goes and fights McGregor twice this last year.
No, it's got to be mentally exhausting too.
Oh,
right?
I can't even imagine. I think that had a lot to play into the results.
And the way Oliveira performs too, like you can't fault him for being, whether you call it nerves or like maybe you're just so exhausted from all the like fame and publicity and like the pressure of those types of fights. I don't know what it would be, but I mean, like Oliveira is this dangerous dude. So I don't fault him at all.
There's not very many. I can't think of another champion right off the top of my head that's been through what Oliveira's been through to get to the top, battling through adversity, battling through the losses he's battled through. And that speaks volumes to me.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And Oliveira too. He's kind of changed the script, right? I mean, he's officially, because remember they talked about he has quit in him, right?
Yeah.
And says you either have it or you don't. He might be the first guy that's making people have to change the way they think, where it's like you can evolve into a guy that doesn't have quit in him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely
one of those dudes that you definitely have seen in the past. Like you see them quit or you see them tap, do whatever it is, someone gets the better of you. But then you evolve and your confidence grows. And then you're like, wow, dude, like I am not a quitter. I can push through these things. I can be the best. Right.
Yeah.
So
did you see he's talking about, he's open to moving up to welterweight or moving back down to 145?
That'd be exciting to see.
Super fight with Usman.
I actually, him and Volkanovski interests me a lot.
That would be a great fight
because they're both so technical. That would be nuts. If he could still make 145, that's actually the fight I'd really like to see.
I don't know if he has the size to mess with Usman, but man. All right, Johann, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to? Oh, wait. Prediction on the fight. Are you going to give us a prediction?
Oh, on the fight? All right. So, I mean, I'm one of those dudes that, kind of like whatever happens, right? I have like a mental game plan of like how I would like to perform. So I would like to finish him by no later than the second round. And I'd like to do it by either a knockout or a submission. I always look for the finish, whether it's, a knockout or a submission. I don't like to be cocky and say I'm going to knock him out or I'm going to submit him. But that would be my preference, is definitely putting him away no later than the second round.
Eminari roll to a heel hook. It'll be there.
You knock out a guy like Dom, that's huge.
I don't think he's
that'd
ever
be
been
good for
knocked
me.
out.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever been finished either.
Well, there's a first time
he's-
for everything. You never
This
know.
is, if I'm not mistaken, this is his pro debut too, isn't it?
No, him and Trevor Bradshaw.
That's right. That's right. You're right. All right, Johann, any sponsors you want to give a shout out to? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, definitely. So I got Water and Wellness here. My dude Walter down there has always been taking care of me ever since my Tanner Hines fight. He helps me out, no questions asked. Super good dudes. Super great water, supplements, whatever you need, they got it. One of my newer sponsors, one of my favorite sponsors, Rockwell. Johnny down there has always been taking care of me. He's giving me a bunch of products, a bunch of training gear. Super good dudes down there too. They support first responders all the time. They're always giving out free watches to police, fire, EMS people, military. Super good dudes. Damage Plan Athletics always do damage. Can't thank you guys enough. You guys have been super helpful to me. You guys are helping me with the banner and getting some shirts and hoodies made. I'll be posting about that later today. And
I just emailed you the mock-ups, by the way.
Perfect. We'll get a post going, and hopefully we'll sell a bunch of them. And I'd like to thank Spartan Trades. They just recently contacted me and, kind of hooked me up with some stuff and a bunch of money. And now, I was able to pay like a bunch of my meal preps because of their help. And super good dudes down there. Definitely check out their Instagram. They got a lot of good advice on trading. Elite Performance, as always. Home gym of the best fighters in Utah. That's what I like to think anyways.
Heck yeah.
Super good guys. CBD Revolutionaries, they helped me in the past before too. Super good dudes. And then we'll kind of see if any more sponsors kind of take off.
Heck yeah. Love it, man.
That's awesome. And just so you know, everybody can go to the new fiercefightingchampionship.com website, go to tickets and click on Johann's picture to get his tickets. Right now he's leading in ticket sales, so he's killing it.
Ooh.
And then
the Judge Army, baby.
Also, if you can't make it to the fights but want to order the pay-per-view, we are working on it, and it should be done this week to where the fighters will actually get a cut of their pay-per-view sales as well.
Awesome.
So there you go, Johann.
Awesome.
Well, I appreciate that, guys.
All right, January 29th. Can't wait to see you back in the Fierce Fighting Championship cage, Johann.
It's going to be a war. Don't miss it.
Roger that, man. We will talk to you later. Appreciate you joining us.
See you guys.
We out.